Hi everybody and welcome back to Enjoy English with Mrs. A. Today we're going to speak about money vocabulary, how to speak about your finances and about money in general. And I mean everything you need to know from your professional life to what you do at the bank and money adjectives. Let's get started. So we have a wallet, but we also have an e-wallet because more and more people are using their phones to pay for just about anything and everything. Now, I'm still not one of those people yet, but hey, I salute you. An income is the money, the sum of money you get from one or multiple activities. Let's take me, for example. I make money from teaching, from my book sales, but also from YouTube. This situation here is called having multiple sources of income or multiple streams of income. Teaching, for example, is an active income source, meaning I have to work, to actively work in order to get paid. And since I'm a freelancer, if I don't work, well, I don't get paid. The money I get from my book sales, though, is called a passive income, meaning I could very well be asleep and still make money if people buy my books. YouTube is more of an active passive sort of situation. Although we all know YouTube doesn't pay very well, whatever your income, it will increase if you keep your consistency publishing videos. Oh my God, here we go. I apologize for the intrusion. Let's move on to currency. This is the money people use in a country. If you're curious, you can ask Google, what is the currency in Turkey? So if you have to go to a country where the currency is different, make sure you visit an exchange office or a currency exchange at the airport or at your local bank. Funds, financial resources, a specific pool of money set aside for a specific purpose. This can be used to speak about personal finances, such as, Anne doesn't have the funds to relocate to Japan. Or we can speak about the finances of a country or of an institution. Every country should have emergency funds. When we speak about money, we speak about cash or card. And I really feel like in the past they asked this a lot at restaurants, cash or card, when it was time to pay. But I think that's changing. It's not like that anymore. Discount is when you get money off an item. Sales happen when shops offer merchandise at a discount. Black Friday is coming up in Spain and stores offer large discounts. Before today, I'd like us to look at these two expressions. These jeans are on sale. This means they are sold at a discounted price. Or you can say, I bought these jeans in sales. This is the period of time when stores offer discounts such as Black Friday we said before. A fundraiser is an event to raise money, and any sort of institution can organize one. Expenses, money you need to spend on multiple things. Like for example, your home expenses, which include utilities, mortgage, maintenance, and pay attention to that special noun that can magically transform into an adjective. In order to define the type of expenses, you can have student expenses, wedding expenses, home expenses, you name it, really. In a sentence, we need to cut down on our expenses, meaning to reduce. Or, I have minimal home expenses. When you finished eating or drinking at a restaurant, you usually ask for the check in American English or the bill in British English. And you can use the short version, check please, or the longer version, which is also more formal and polite, could I have the bill please? Your budget is the money you designate for a specific purpose. In a sentence, my budget for the kitchen renovation, or kitchen reno, in short, is $4,000. In an expression, I'm on a budget. And this means you cannot exceed. You cannot pass that limit. You need to make sure you spend within your limits. A bargain is a good offer money-wise. Attention to the pronunciation of this word. Bargain, a bargain. In a sentence, I love bargaining or I love to bargain. And you can see it can be a verb, but also a noun. This guitar was a real bargain. And because we all have some sort of a relationship with money, if you absolutely must say something about your situation, you could say, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, or I'm well off. And this means you have a lot of money. You have all the money you need to spend, even more. If you say, I'm poor, I'm broke, or I'm penniless, it's exactly the opposite. If you've been fired, if you've been laid off, and your financial situation is not as good as it was before, you can be struggling financially, meaning you're not in such a good place as you were before. You're having a difficult time when it comes to money, finances, and so on. Now, if you don't like spending money, you can say, I'm tight, or I'm tight-fisted. This is a fist. I'm tight-fisted, or I'm stingy. Frugal is another word for people who do not like spending money. And of course, the very famous cheapskate, also very informal, to describe a person who absolutely does not like spending money and likes living a little bit on edge in terms of everything in order to save money. And on the opposite side of all this, you have generous. You could say, I'm generous. If you like to save money, then you're a saver. If you like to spend big time, then you are a spender or a big spender. And of course, if you're spending responsibly, then you can be a responsible spender. A very common situation for millennials, for Gen Z, is to be in some sort of debt. And attention to the silent B in this word because you don't pronounce it. Pronunciation, debt. The B is completely silent. It's very common for people nowadays to have student debt or to have a mortgage, which means they are not debt free. We also have people whose jobs revolve around money. If your job is investing money and collecting profit, you are an investor. If you manage a bank, you can be a banker. If you're an expert in the financial field, you can be a consultant, a financial consultant or advisor. And of course, every company, every freelancer needs to have an accountant, a person whose job is to inspect and later declare and make the numbers, right? You can be an economist, which means an expert in your field, which should be economy. If you enjoy making generous donations to support good causes, then you can very well be a philanthropist. Now, this is not a job per se, but it is somebody who is known for doing something with their money, in this case, supporting good causes. You and I are nothing more than tax-paying citizens. Moving on to the bank. When you go to the bank, you can, of course, go and check your bank account, which is very general. Everybody has a bank account. But if you have one specifically to save money, that is called a savings account. The mortgage. Your mortgage is money you pay exclusively for your home, normally after receiving a loan from the bank. The loan, of course, is money the bank gives you and which you will have to pay later, usually in installments and with interest. To deposit money into an account or to make a deposit, when you get some money and then you go to the bank and deposit it in your bank account, or the opposite, to withdraw money or to take money out of your account. Attention, withdraw, very formal. To take money out is let's say, the more informal version. And you usually withdraw money from an ATM, which is an automatic teller machine. If you pay something in installments, this means you have to make multiple smaller payments. The exchange rate is the value of the currency upon conversion. A payment is the sum of money you pay And of course, a down payment is an upfront payment when you make a large purchase. Like when you buy your first home, you need to have a percentage of the total amount your home is worth, and that is going to be your down payment. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. Find my books on Amazon if you'd like to support this channel, and stay tuned for new videos. Bye!